If you don't have your parent and you don't have a family, then there is no past at all. There's nothing. Nothing at all. It's an empty, just empty. What do you see when you look in the mirror? Nothing. My reflection tells me nothing. I can't look in the mirror and say, oh, look, I kind of got my mum's eyes, or I have my mum's attitude, or, well, my dad does that. And you should see my sister. She's just, there's nothing. It's a great big nothing. There's no answer. It's just, you just have to live with the nothing. I am Lindy Bedford. At least that's the name I was given by the nurses of Battle Hospital in Reading. And Reading, a little town, is where I was found on Bedford Road, given the name Bedford, my surname. I was between the ages of 3 to 6 months. I was taken to Battle Hospital, where I spent 3 to 5 years living there. And the nurses there gave me the name Lindy. So I am Lindy Bedford until I can find out what my real name was before that time of being found. I was supposedly found on the 31st of October, 39. There's two things, which is very strange. For many years I was told that Dr. Kane found me on Bedford Road in the morning when he was doing his rounds. He went up to a patient. When he came down, I was sitting I was laying in the car. And for many years, that's what I believed. I only found out maybe 10 years ago was that Joseph May, who was an estate agent, found me on a Wednesday night outside the pub on Bedford Road. He went in to have a drink, and when he came back, I was in his car. It's been lonely all my life, only because you can't belong. You cannot be free to wrap your arms around somebody and say, I'm glad you're there and I need you. I mean, this is then, growing up as a child, never having someone of your own. It is totally lonely. And I don't think that anyone can explain that loneliness or know that loneliness unless you've been there. Every time I went to another family, I would hope and pray that I could really belong, that I could really belong to that family, that I'd be a part, but it just didn't work. And then of course being brown in an all-white society, it like compounds your pain, because no matter how much you pretend you could belong, you can't. I don't know anything about the day I got married. It's gone. I can remember the day before and the day after. And the only thing that I can think of why that happened is because of the lady. I was coming out of the church and walking back over to the home, and this lady stopped me and she said, are you Lindy Bedford? And I said, yes. She said, I have 2 presents for you. One is a gift. She gave me 2 books. She told me, she says, the other is a gift of truth. And that's when she told me, she says, I was there when they took you away from your mother. And then she explained mother was swarthy and between 15 and 18 and couldn't speak English and long black hair. And to me, it was like the most wonderful thing I had ever heard in my life, that my mother was brown. My husband was brown, he was a West Indian. I had seen brown people, but even so, I don't look like an African. So I still did not identify myself with these people. To me, they were as different to me as English people. People say, why didn't you stop the woman? Why didn't you ask her more? Well, I've said that to myself a million times. I have cried over the stupidity of that 16-year-old child, that this woman had the answers. But all I could think of was I was hollering, running down the street, my hands up. I'm brown like my mother. That's the only thing that you could tell me that I wanted to hear. I used to pray, really, really pray. I used to beg God, let her come back and save me. As far back as I can remember, as little as I was, that was the one thing I kept focused on. She was going to come back and get me. I've accepted the fact that I may never find out. But through the years, I would kind of fantasize, you know. But there's a very strange thing. I've always loved my mother. I have 4 boys, 4 girls. I have 14 grandchildren and 1 great-grandchild. I have nothing behind me. I've always wanted to belong. In front of me now, I have this massive great family. Always mum this and mum that, and even my grandchildren call me mum. I do care about the truth. And the reason that it's so important is because it sets you free. You know, you're chained in. I can't say that without getting really sad, you know. But that's the truth. You're chained in. You want to get over it. You want it to go away. You want to forget. You want to be able to say, this is my birthday, this is my mother, and that was my father. That's what's important. You're locked, and the truth sets you free. That's what I'd like, the truth. No matter what it is, whether it's good or bad, it will set me free. Here I've reached the ripe old age of 63, and I still care. I still am trapped in an untruth. And I would like to know the truth. I'd like to stop wanting to know. It's not going to go away. I will always want to know till the day I die. I will wonder. If I don't complete that picture, I will die wondering who I really am.